Peace and prosperity. Trade with Southeast Asia aroused, with many diplomatic missions sent to China. Around the year 1118, however, the Chalukya Chola rulers lost control of Bengal to the Western Chalukya king Vikramaditya VI. The future Chola kings all faced trouble in one way or the other. They were constantly assaulted. By the 13th century, the Pandyan monarchs were gaining strength. The Chola Empire shrank to the region around Tanjore and soon came to an end when the last Chola king, Rajaraja III, invaded central and western India. With Pataliputra as its capital near Patna, he had occupied northwestern India in its entirety by the year 360 BC. The great strategy Ashoka. Ashoka was headquartered in Magadh in Bihar. His kingdom stretched from Pakistan and Afghanistan in the west to Assam and Bangladesh in the east, and as far as Kerala and Andhra Pradesh in the south. Within 8 years of ascending the throne, Ashoka expanded his empire to regions in Iran and Persia. His quest to expand his empire, however, would change after the bloody Battle of Kalinga. In his younger days, Ashoka is said to have had a massive temper and was considered to be a very cruel person. He was nicknamed Chand Ashoka, which meant Ashoka the Fierce. Kalinga was a state in the fertile land between Godavari and Mahanadi rivers. Ashoka invaded this kingdom after they refused to bow down to him. It is said that 100,000 soldiers of the Kalinga army died in this war, and Ashoka too lost around 10,000 of his men. After the battle, Ashoka was very moved by the devastation he had caused. He saw burnt houses and scattered corpses all around, and the wails of the mourners pierced his ears. Ashoka adopted Buddhism soon after, embracing its message of peace. He made it the state religion and propagated its message within the boundaries of his kingdom as well as other parts of the world. He built thousands of stupas and viharas that stand until today. During his reign, Ashoka built many universities, water transit, and irrigation systems to promote trade and agriculture. He constructed hospitals and renovated major roads throughout his kingdom and treated his subjects equally, regardless of their politics, culture, or class. All our knowledge of Ashoka's rule is from inscriptions he had carved on pillars and rocks throughout his kingdom. They all speak of compassionate living and spreading peace and love. After 40 years on the throne, Ashoka breathed his last at the ripe age of 72. He left behind a legacy of an able ruler and lawmaker, a hero, a monk, and a noble preacher of Dharma. Ashoka was the last of the great kings of the Mauryan dynasty that eventually fell apart 50 years later. The Cheras, the lands south of the modern empire, which included the Malabar coast, Karur, Coimbatore, and Salem districts in South India, were all part of the Chera kingdom. The Chera capital was Tiruvannthapuram. Iliyan Cheruvalukku, the first Chera king, is accredited with founding the dynasty. Udiyan's son, Imayavarangan Cheruvalukku, through his grit and determination, was responsible for making the Cheras one of the most powerful kingdoms in the south. He ruled for 58 years and won multiple battles and wars. The most famous of which were against his sworn enemies, the Karangas of Palestine. Imayavarangan not only extended his kingdom, he also supported the local arts, culture, and literature during his reign. With strong overseas links with places like Rome, the kingdom prospered immensely. The trade consisted mainly of spices, ivory, and sandalwood. This period of success was followed by the Kalabras overthrowing the Cheras. The Cheras, however, overthrew the Kalabras, and the Second Chera Empire was founded with Mahodhyapuram as their capital. During this time of Sthanu Ravivarman, trade flourished with China and Kerala amongst other places, and there was peace between them and the Cholas. However, with Sthanu's death, the relationship between the Cheras and Cholas turned sour. After the death of Ravivarma Kulasekaram, the last king, the Chera Empire disintegrated and the Cholas took over. The Pallavas. The south of India has seen many empires. However, one of the most powerful to exist in that region was the Pallava dynasty. The Pallavas were great conquerors and patrons of art and architecture. They ruled for nearly 500 years. The Pallavas initially conquered the region of Tondai Mandalam in Pallavapuri, right on the coastline. Shortly thereafter, a natural disaster occurred and the entire area was washed away by the sea. The Pallavas then moved to Kanchipuram, and it was from there that they built their mighty empire, which extended from northern Orissa to Tanjore and Trichy in the far south. Believed to be the first Pallav ruler who ruled in the early part of the 4th century, Skandavarman extended his territories from the Krishna River to Pennar in the south, all the way across to Bellary in the west. After having performed the Ashwamedha and various Vedic rituals, he earned the title of Supreme King of Kings devoted to Dharma. During the period of 350 to 575 BC, there were over 16 kings who ruled. King Sambashivu ruled from 560 to 580 BC. He was a strong ruler who defeated the Cholas, Pandyas, and Kalapras, which were the original rulers of the southern region. Sambashivu was a Vaishnavite, a devotee of Lord Vishnu, and his portrait is present in the Adi Varaha temple in Mahabalipuram, Tamil Nadu. Sambashivu was followed by his son Mahendravarman, who ruled from 600 to 630 BC. Mahendravarman was a very learned person, a poet and a skilled musician. His instrument of choice was the veena. He was also a patron of the arts, music, and architecture, which flourished